Ciao belli, thanks for tuning in. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to a new review about some new lights by Zhiyun. Today we are reviewing the B series, which has been just released. Great line of lights. We did some proper test on a real filmmaking shoot during the weekend, the past weekend, so a few days ago. If you haven't seen what we have done, I definitely recommend you to go and check it out, because it was a fun shoot, first of all, but also because you will see what you can do with these lights, and that gives you an idea of the power of these products. So what's the B series? It's a professional line of lights. It includes the B100, B200, B300 and B500, and the name refers to the voltage, so the watts of the light, what you can achieve in terms of watts. It's a line of bicolor lights going from 2700 Kelvin up to 6500. Today I have with me a 300 and I'm using a 500 as a key light for this video. I'm gonna give you a couple of tests of the power of the 500 as well. Why do we need more of these lights? We know Zhiyun lately released the G series. So what are the main differences? Let's check it out. So we have a G300 here, B300. Same voltage. Main differences, the size. As you can see, the body of the G300 is much smaller than the B. But for the G, you will also need an adapter, which is also the controller for the light. So more or less, we're gonna get the same size. Now the G300 can turn into a 500 watts as well. You have that option. The B300 is just a 300 watts light. But one of the key features of the B series is the power cable. So you will not need any adapter for this. So you have a single individual cable without any need of the adapter. So for any other light, you will have actually two pieces of cable. But for the B series, you only have one, which is simply that. Bear in mind, guys, that these lights don't come in a proper case, but they come in a box, which is also the case. And it looks like this, right? So they're pretty big. I'm not a fan of these things because they get damaged much faster than a proper case, which I have found on the G200, for example. But the G300 came already in a similar box. Right? The G300 one is a bit smaller. And again, I'm not a fan of these things, and I hope the brand can hear this comment and improve it, because I don't see myself going around with these cases, especially in a country like London, where we know the rain comes down quite often. So they will melt in the rain. I'd rather have a proper case. The G series, as I mentioned, is controllable through this controller, right? But also it's controllable through the app. Same thing for the B series. You can control it via the app, which we're gonna check out. You can control it on the body, but also you can purchase a tiny controller separately that you can connect to the body of your B series through this USB-C port right there, which I recommend to do, because if you don't, and if you are like me that doesn't like to use apps, when you have your light, for example, on a high stand, you won't be able to control the light in the first place, but you won't also be able to check the settings. So every time, for example, on the shoot we have done during the weekend, I had to take the light down and check the settings and pull it back up. So definitely I recommend to use either the app or to buy the separate controller. Let's talk about prices straight away. So we have the B100, which I haven't checked yet. That comes at £229. The B200 comes at the price of £359. B300, £530, and the B500, £719. You can find these products on Amazon, and all the links are in the description tab. It's an affiliated link, so whenever you purchase something through my links, I will get a small percentage out of the total from Amazon. So not from you, it's nothing on top of what you're paying, but it's just off the product itself. So you will help supporting my channel. In terms of dimensions and weight, and we are talking with the bracket on right here, the B100 and 200 share the same body, and so do the 300 and 500. So talking about the 100 and 200, they measure 146 by 181 by 160 millimeters. The weight is 1.27 kilos, 1.4. So it depends on the B100 and B200, but that's more or less the weight of those two lights. The B300 and 500, they measure 245 by 181 by 159 millimeters, and they weigh more or less 2.6 kilograms. In terms of volume, this is a 54% of, for example, the same light of different brands. In terms of weight, it's a 70% compared again to the same kind of lights from different brands. And I'm talking about the general B series. So you can save a lot of space and a lot of weight as well. Let's talk about the build and the body of these lights. They feature an industrial design. One of the main features, I think, is the ventilation system. So you have two fans, one on each side, and a fan at the back of the light that basically will push the heat out of your light from the top and the bottom of the body. In terms of bracket, it can be adjusted with this handle and locked, but also it features a hole for an umbrella, for example, an umbrella softbox, and it features a tiny display at the back of the light. So you can tilt your light 180 degrees up and down, but you won't be able to mount the bracket in an horizontal position. I mean, you can if you have a strong C-stand, you know, with counterweight, but what I mean is that you don't have an extra hole for vertical mounting. So the light itself is very simple. You only have two dials. So we have the power on one side, opposite side is the temperature. We haven't mentioned the mount yet. This is a standard Bowens mount, so it's adaptable to all the Bowens mount diffusers you already might own. It's very convenient. I own a few Bowens mounts, so I can use any reflector, softbox, whatever, with these lights as well. The light also features different effects, and here you can go through your different effects, change the temperature of that effect and the intensity as well. We actually have used the candles effect for the La La Land video I talked to you about, and again you can see a little bit of that during the behind the scenes and the final video, but it worked really well with also the 60 centimeters softbox, again with dual layer diffusion and the grid. I mentioned before we can control the lights through an app, and actually you want to have downloaded the ZY Vega app, which you can find on Google Play, but also on iStore. Once you have downloaded it and installed it, then you simply open it up. You want to have your Bluetooth and location on your phone. So scroll through your settings and turn on those two options. Once you've done it, go back to the app. On the first page, you will find a demo. So that's a group of lights made for you, but I recommend to create yours via the plus button at the bottom right of the screen. You can choose whatever a color for your group, confirm it, and now you go inside that group and you can locate the lights around you. Of course, they have to be on. On the top right, you will find a plus button again, which you wanna press, and now the Bluetooth will search for your lights. If it can't find anything, then you go through the menu of your lights and reset the Bluetooth settings. And here we go. Now I can find my B300, which is right there. I select it, add. Now through the app, if I press the tiny light, I can turn it on and off. I can, increase the power, but also change the temperature of the light. And I can also access some presets and so on. In terms of brightness, of course, each light is different depending on the voltage. The tests have been taken with the lights at 1 meter away from the subject, with only the reflector on at 5500 Kelvin. The B100 can reach 20,600 lux, the B200 39,900, the B300 is 63,200 lux, and the B500 can reach 76,400 lux. And now we are actually gonna test the B500 right here with the softbox. I'm gonna give you the settings of my camera I'm using as well, just to give you an idea of what you can do in a studio environment, and also with the reflector and without the reflector. Right, let's go. Right, people, so test number 1. This is me without any key light. I'm gonna turn the B500 on. Again, I'm using a 60 centimeter softbox with dual layer of diffusion and a grid. Okay, so the light is now at 15% of power, CCT Kelvin 5500. Camera settings are down here. So if I go to 100%, I'm gonna be overexposed of 1.3 f-stops. I'm not sure if you can, but I can hear the fan quite loud right now. So that's something to keep in mind, guys. 100% the fan goes on. And I'm a meter away from the light. Let's go back to 15 just to be properly exposed. And I'm going to put the reflector on the light right now. So here I am again, reflector only on the light, still a meter away from me, same power as before, 15%. I can barely see, so I'm afraid to go to 100. Still a 5500 Kelvin. Okay, I can feel the heat all on this side of the body, and this is 100% of power right now. So here, guys, we should be now at 76,400 lux. As a conclusion, I love those lights. I love all the products by this brand, to be fair, guys. They're really good. They help me a lot with my work. They're professional lights, great quality, portability sometimes is the main feature for me, so I would look at smaller lights as well, and I have a lot of reviews on my channel, so I advise you to go and check them out. And I invite you to subscribe, of course, if it's your first time on my channel. I hope the video helped out. Drop a comment if you want to know more about the gear, and hit that like button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.